Yo, what is good, YouTube, and welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we're going to be doing episode number 5 of I Build Your Teams, the series where I build my viewers' teams into the best teams possible for my team unlimited and or competitive play based on how much MT they have, what their playstyle is, what gen they play on, things like that. If you want to be involved in a future episode of this video, make sure you follow me on Twitter. My Twitter link is always down in the description below at every single video. And be on the lookout for a tweet about this series every single Friday night. And also, there's a chance we may have a special guest coming for the next episode or two, so be on the lookout for that as well. Also, if you have not yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help me push towards the 2,500 subscriber mark on the channel. We're uploading every single day. I'll really appreciate your support if you haven't already, if you do hit that subscribe button. But without further ado, let's hop right into it and start off with the first team from today's video, which comes in from Hero, who pulled Westbrook and Embiid. He sold them both, upgraded his squad. Still has about 150 to 200k. He's a big fan of Ben and Josh Smith for defense, but he subs into Kimbe for offense, which is definitely smart on current gen. So first thing I will say, Harden's better than Gary Harris. Sell this Gary Harris card, get the MT that you can out of him, and put Harden in at the backup too. The second thing, with 150k, I think there are some upgrades you can make. In all honesty, I would definitely go about changing up this lineup just a bit. The first thing that I would probably look to do is additionally probably sell Dwayne Wade. As much Dwayne Wade is a decent card, but I just feel like for the MT amount that he's going for, you're better off just selling him and buying Kobe, who may be a bit more expensive, but not much more expensive, and I think is a much better card. So I'd basically swap Dwayne Wade for Kobe. You're going to spend a little bit MT, but not a ton. You'll still have probably 150k plus MT, and then you'll have Kobe and Harden as your twos. At that point, I would also probably move, I'll sell Ben Wallace, probably start Dikembe at the 5 and bring Josh Smith off the bench at the 5. Rodman is fine at the 4, and then I'd probably move Gus Gerard to your starting 4 and pick up like a Kawhi Leonard to play the starting 3. So that would give you a lineup of Isaiah, Kobe, Kawhi, and then I said Gerard at the 4, Dikembe at the 5, and then Fred VanVleet, James Harden, Pippen, Rodman, and Josh Smith off the bench. That lineup, that 10-man, is really, really good, and it's not going to cost you much MT in terms of spending more MT than you already have spent, which I think is definitely going to improve your squad overall. Actually, it may not even wind up spending. You may actually wind up coming out with more MT and a better team after you sell Ben Wallace, sell Gary Harris, sell Dwayne Wade, and make those couple of upgrades. Next team today comes in from Minnie. He's on Xbox. He's got 328k to work with. And looking at his team, he has Isaiah Thomas and Sleepy Floyd, MLK and Kobe, Glenn Robinson, Kawhi, Carmelo, Gus Gerard, Anthony Davis, and Joel Embiid. So looking at this team immediately, what I will say, I don't think you have to make any upgrades. That being said, coming up on the end of the season with a team like this, I think you I don't know. There's a couple upgrades I might consider making. The first one would probably be to sell Joel Embiid and pick up a Chris Webber. I think Chris Webber is a better center, and I think that's pretty close to even upgrade in terms of how much MT they're going for. You're basically going to be doing an even swap and getting a better center, in my opinion. Webber is faster. He's a better rebounder. I think he's all around a better card. I think he's also probably a better stretch in terms of his shooting ability. He's definitely more athletic. Just a better card all the way around, in my personal opinion. So I think that'd be a good upgrade to make. Additionally, I would definitely consider starting Kobe and bringing MLK off the bench. I just think Kobe's better than MLK, but if you prefer MLK, definitely nothing wrong with that. Keep starting him. Otherwise, I don't think there's any upgrades you need to make. Save your MT, make sure that you're ready for season 2, and I think you got a super solid squad. That's really the only one that I would look to make, is switching Embiid for Webber, because Webber's the better card, and he's basically the same price right now. Third team today comes in from Luca Goat. Like your name, he's got 630k MT. That's a lot of MT. Definitely it looks like basically an all rewards squad except for Kawhi, which is definitely a squad that I like to see, saving your MT, being smart with that, and I think that's definitely a huge W. Walton, Kyrie, again, I don't think that's bad. You can run those guys. Devin Booker and Harden, again, same thing. Kawhi, ML, Carmelo, Glenn Robinson, Wilt, and Bob Pettit. So looking at this team, I don't think there's anything like a super pressing need that you should change, but I definitely think there are some places you can upgrade that will make your team better and also allow you to still save the majority of your MT. First of all, Bob Pettit, I would definitely swap him out for a guy like Josh Smith, and with his Josh Smith, they're similar size, and I just feel like Josh Smith is much better defensively. He's much more athletic. He's also capable of shooting the ball, even if he's not quite as good of a shooter as Pettit, and he's much more like athletic in terms of his ability to slash. He's a better rebounder. Altogether, I feel like he's just a better card. He may not be a better rebounder on paper, but he definitely, with his high vertical, snags more rebounds. So I personally just think he's a better overall card. So I'd pick up Josh Smith to replace Bob Pettit. Not a huge upgrade in terms of the amount of MT you're spending, but definitely an upgrade you'll notice on your team. And then I'd probably look to pick up another center if you don't. It depends on if you like Wilt or not. If you're a big fan of this Wilt card, feel free to keep running him at the center position. If you don't like him, definitely I would probably look in the direction of Anthony Davis, a Chris Webber, one of those two guys to start at the center position. And those two upgrades I think would really make a big difference, just upgrading your centers to guys like Anthony Davis and Josh Smith, and then you can potentially consider looking at a point guard like an Isaiah Thomas as well. I'm not going to say that's a necessary upgrade if you want to save your MT, but a guy like Isaiah Thomas to start and then bring Frazier off the bench, and it takes Kyrie, who's a very poor defender, out of your lineup. That's also not a bad idea, but again, I think an upgrade like that is up to you. And honestly, I think your squad is doing just fine as is. Just a few upgrades to your point guard and center position will definitely make a difference for your team. Our next team today comes in from Damage, who says he has 250k in his auctions and plays on next and current. So looking at his team with 250k in your auctions, you're looking at close to 500,000 MT, which is a substantial amount of MT that would allow you to make a lot of upgrades if you want to. Ron Boone at the point guard position is a card I'm actually really jealous that you have, because I wish I had Ron Boone. He's really good and definitely a great non-auctionable card, as well as Fred VanVleet at point guard. I like that a lot. Donovan Mitchell, James Harden. I know you're a great dribbler. He plays competitively on Xbox, really good dribbler. And then Harden's great off the bench. ML Carr, Scottie Pippen, LeBron, Josh Smith, Wilt Chamberlain, Dennis Rodman. Looking at this team, I don't honestly think there are any significant holes. That's something I feel like I've said on a couple teams today, but I don't dislike this team at all. With 500k, that being said, I definitely think there are some upgrades that you could make. And one of those upgrades that I am going to recommend is actually picking up a guy like, I think as the center position, again, the backup center position is definitely the place that you'd look to upgrade. And I think honestly what you do is you move Wilt to the bench, and then you pick up a guy like Anthony Davis or Chris Webber, who are the guys that I mainly recommended because I think they're the two best centers in the game right now. I would pick up one of those two guys to start at the center position for you, and then bring Wilt off the bench. I know you can use a pick and roll center like Wilt and inside center because of how good of a dribbler you are, so I think that will be totally effective for you. But for me personally, I would definitely look to upgrade the center position, sell this Rodman, and pick up a guy like Chris Webber or Anthony Davis. Besides that, I don't think there are any necessary upgrades you can make. You could also look towards a guy like Grant Hill or Kobe Bryant or somebody like that, who would be a significant upgrade at the 2 or the 3. But that being said, the guys you have at the 2 and the 3 can get the job done. They can play defense, they can score the ball a little bit, they're good shooters. So I don't think you have like a significant hole at those positions at all. I just am not a huge fan of this Rodman card, and that's my personal opinion. And I feel like having a top center in the game like an AD or a Weber helps your game a lot. So for me personally, that's probably the direction that I would look to go if I was trying to upgrade this team. Next team today comes in from Anthony. He says he's got 390 KMT, and I like this team. Clearly, I can tell you've spent a good amount of money on the game. That's not an insult at all. But that being said, there are just some things like that I would definitely look to change about this squad. First of all, it's hard to follow. You got 13 guys in here, and for me personally, I'm going to try to make a 10-man squad. So the way that I'm going to do that with the 390 KMT that you have, first of all, I'm going to tell you the cards that I would sell. The cards that I would sell are Russell Westbrook, Michael Jordan, Gilbert Arenas, Joel Embiid, Ben Wallace, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I would just sell all 5 or 6 of those guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All 6 of those cards I would sell immediately. And honestly, I'd sell Dikembe Mutombo as well. Then I would basically build this 10-man lineup. Isaiah Thomas, Kobe Bryant, Grant Hill, Carmelo Anthony, and then Anthony Davis. So Isaiah Thomas, Kobe, Grant Hill, Carmelo, and then Anthony Davis. And then off the bench go Derrick Rose, Vince Carter, Larry Bird, LeBron James, Chris Webber. You will have the MT to make those couple of purchases, whether that's Grant Hill, Kobe, and I think it's Grant Hill, Kobe, and Chris Webber would be the 3 cards you'd purchase. With the cards you're going to be able to sell and the amount of MT that you're going to make, you're going to easily have enough MT. You're going to profit MT overall and have more MT to your name, and you'll have basically the best team in the game at that point. So definitely sell those limited cards, sell these 3 guys, sell Embiid, sell Ben Wallace, sell Kareem, and build that 10-man lineup. You basically will have the best team in the game and still a ton of MT. Definitely a little bit jealous of the way your team is looking. Absolute God squad over here. And then second to last team of the day, he says he's on next gen. He's got 180 KMT to spend. Proud no money spent player, and I respect that. Again, Drew Holiday, Ron Boone, super solid point guard position. ML Harden, same thing. Definitely going to work. Glenn Robinson, Scottie Pippen, not bad. And then you have Carmelo, Gus Gerard, Ben Wallace, and Dennis Rodman. Again, this is a theme that I feel like I'm noticing with a lot of teams. The center position feels like it's the weakest position for a lot of people. And the way that I would definitely look to upgrade it as, again, sell Ben Wallace. I know he's not crazy expensive, especially for a pink diamond, but the card just is not that good. In my opinion, he's amazing defensively, super fast, all that. But the fact that he can't shoot the ball and he's kind of undersized bothers me. So for me personally, I would sell Ben Wallace and sell Dennis Rodman, and then look to make some center position upgrades. And the one of those upgrades would be Josh Smith for sure. Amethyst Josh Smith is just a phenomenal card who's also cheap and very effective. And then after selling Ben Wallace and Rodman, you're probably going to be sitting closer to like 230k after buying Josh Smith, something like that, maybe 220k. And again, I feel like Anthony Davis and Chris Webber might be a little bit out of your price range, and those are the cards that I've recommended to a lot of people. But Actually, you know what? With your team being a no money spent player, just sell Ben Wallace and pick up Josh Smith. He's a little bit cheaper than Ben Wallace, and he's a better card. And keep Rodman off the bench. Rodman can hold it down. He's got Hall of Fame rebound chaser. He's a great defender. I'm just not a huge fan of his jumper, but he can stretch the floor as well. So honestly, I don't think you need to change anything besides selling Ben Wallace and swapping him for Josh Smith. At that point, save your MT and look towards Season 2 and try to pick up as many great budget cards in Season 2. Grind the offline, do all that stuff in Season 2 as well, and continue to upgrade your squad. Good no money spent squad, though. And then final team from today comes in from my boy Say, who qualified on Xbox on the 250k tournament, even though he is underage. So congratulations to him. He's obviously not going to be playing in the tournament because he's under 18, but congratulations on qualifying anyway. And I'm very impressed that you were able to do that with this squad. Walt Frazier, Kyrie, Donovan, James Harden, Dale Ellis, ML Carr, Gus Gerard, Glenn Robinson, Serge, and Chris Boucher. And then Ron Boone in the final three is a card that I'm a big fan of. So for me personally, that's probably one thing that I would do is play Ron Boone over Kyrie, because Ron gives you a lot more on the defensive end of the court. And for me personally, I'm a bigger fan of that Ron Boone card and would certainly be playing Ron Boone over Kyrie in my lineup if I had him. But honestly, that's kind of a matter of opinion. Both those cards are free and neither of them are going to leave your lineup, so or leave your collection, I should say. I think your 1 through 3 is great. Honestly, your 1 through 4 is great. Again, I feel like the center position is definitely your weakest position, and I would pick one of these two guys, probably Ibaka, but one of these two guys, play them at your backup center, and then pick up Josh Smith. As y'all can tell at this point, I'm a huge fan of Amethyst Josh Smith. I feel like he plays bigger than his height. I feel like he just is a very high quality card at the center position, who's really effective at this point in the game with his athleticism, his defense, his ability to stretch the floor, all the stuff that he gives you at that center position. I'm super high on the card, and I think he would be a great upgrade for your squad that will really help you out. But obviously, you're not struggling as is with this team. So congratulations on qualifying for 250, and yeah, that's probably the one upgrade that I would look to make with this squad. But yeah, that is going to do it for this video. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Again, if you want to be involved in a future episode of this series, make sure you follow me on Twitter. Link is down in the description below, and also make sure to leave a like and a comment on the video as well. But that is going to do it for this video. Like I said, appreciate those of y'all for watching. I'll be back with more 2K content very soon. I appreciate y'all. Peace.